know who was a no-show for last night's CNN presidential debate. So it turned into a town hall with Vice President Harris, who made her case about why she's the only candidate fit to lead. Take a look.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I also believe that the people who know him best on this subject should be trusted.
3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had a dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson. And as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration
But if
is
it was
low.
that
But hold
easy
on,
with
let me
that
finish.
executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem.
You're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur, Anderson.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything.
Now, while some reviews said she was strong on certain issues and vague on others, here are the issues her competition was talking about last night. Take a look.
They're dumping their prisoners, their gang members, their drug lords into the United States of America. Historically, when you have swastikas on your forehead and swastikas all over your cheek and lots of other symbols all over your face, historically, that person isn't going to be a tremendous help to our economy. Crooked Joe Biden, who, by the way, said yesterday about me, quote, "We got to lock him up." I told you. He said, then he denied it. But I've been telling you that it's election interference. This is all it is.
Is he that out of it?
Yeah.
That he doesn't remember that he started lock her up when he was talking about Hillary Clinton? Don't talk about interference, man. You the big interferer. So what are we dealing with here? You know, is she being held to a different standard? Does she have to have all the answers perfectly done and he gets to walk around bloviating from his
absolutely
self?
She is being held to a different standard. She has to be perfect, while he has been the most imperfect candidate that we have ever seen for presidency in our lifetimes. That is just a fact. That is a fact. And, you know, her criticism, the criticism that she's getting is that she's too scripted. I say she's disciplined. I want someone who's disciplined near the nuclear codes. I want someone who is moderate near the nuclear codes. And so all this criticism that she's getting makes it very clear to me that not only is it a binary choice, people are holding her to this different standard because you have a maniac on the other side talking about they're eating the pets and all these dog whistles, and you have someone else that's talking about their dog whistles. See what I did there?
I saw that.
And they're all, but on the other side, she's talking about policies. And to blame her for the state of immigration and not solving immigration, I thought her answer was masterful. They were trying to get a bill accomplished that Trump now is running on. He's running on failures at the border. You know why? Because he is the one that stopped the bill from passing. And let's not forget that.
Yeah. People do. But first of all, he just has to. He doesn't even have to appear sane. That's the bar at this point. She has to appear presidential and everything you just said.
He'd have to prepare for that.
He would.
So.
He'd have to like really work on being sane, you know, because he seems insane. And he doesn't show up for anything. He didn't show up for a debate. He doesn't show up for a town hall. Does he have bone spurs again, do you think? I mean, I'm wondering.
Possible.
So, no, imagine if Kamala didn't show up. Imagine if she said the things that he said. I mean, the name calling. We'll see later. We're going to show that video of the woman on the fence, these types who are on the fence still. Yeah. I'd like to see that later.
Well, I was, being completely honest, frustrated a little bit watching the town hall because she is relying heavily on talking points beyond disciplined script. I just wanted her I wanted to feel a little more. I could answer her before she did because obviously we consume a lot of her right now, and the answers were the same every time. And I think when people say they don't know her, it's not her biography. They know her, but they don't know where she stands on certain things that are very critical. I don't think she's been clear on her stance in the Middle East. I don't.
Oh, she's been very clear on that.
No, she always says that she believes in the right for Israel to defend itself while simultaneously speaking of the tragedy that we all agree on and the lives lost in Gaza, but not saying, like, are we going to end the Middle East? Are we going to let Israel finish with Iran? Are we going to help get that over with?
I think she has
I
said
haven't
that.
felt that answer has been clear, but I also think when it comes to the border, she knows it's a problem. But what I don't understand is she going to approach it with progressive ideas of sanctuary cities, or is she going to
Well,
be more
she's
conservative?
actually said what she planned to do.
I'm just saying
you
that
know.
these are not answers that feel clear to me, and I do
But
think
why
she was.
does she have? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'll
well,
wait.
I mean, I'll just finish real
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
But the point here is, in contrast, there is no option. So
Mm-hmm.
what I will concede is she's absolutely held to a different standard. I would say
Mm-hmm.
every politician right now, other than Donald Trump, is held to anything one day he says would cancel anyone else out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely she is, and everyone else in the platform.
it's the Obama
he
standard.
He could say anything. He could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue.
President
and we'd be
Obama was-
fine.
He was
was
right
held to
about,
that
the one
standard.
thing he was right about was that statement.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing I want to say is, you know, people say, well, we don't know enough about her. We don't know what she stands for. She's telling you. She's repeating all this. See, what I think is extraordinary is when she does what he does, people say, I don't get it. Because she's repeating, she's doing exactly what he does. He says it and says it and says it until it takes.
He's a nut
thing-
job, Whoopi. That's
I know,
very clear.
But what she is doing is she is repeating what the information you need to know about the border,
And
the information you
yes.
need to know about this. And it is because we are consuming so much of her.
But
it does.
But it's also
it
very
just-
important for her to repeat and repeat and repeat.
Well, that's the point I'm
because
making. That
statistically, you have to hear things 3 times in order to remember them.
But he's been around for
Okay.
centuries, it seems. Seems like it. She's only been around for like a little short
Well, that's
time.
the other thing. She'd been around 20 minutes,
Yeah,
let's say.
yeah.
Right.
She suddenly became the nominee. She's got to get up on top of stuff. She has to now think as a presidential candidate and not the vice presidential candidate. Just, you know what? If you don't know what you're doing now,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
I don't know what else to tell you.
You mean the voters? The voters?
Yeah. You know, if you're not sure, you know, I see, but if you're not sure by now, I don't know what else it is people are looking for. She has turned herself inside out practically
Yeah.
to meet she's met everybody that nobody thought she would meet. She went she's seeing Joe Rogan. She went
She
this
shows
long.
up,
She's
which is
going
more
and
than we
she's
can say
talking.
about Trump.
And so, you
he's
know,
afraid to show
she's doing the best she can with what she's got. And if it's not good enough, then we're in trouble.